All right, let's get this party started. It's that time, everybody. It's time to tell the truth. The Time to Tell the Truth series, our weekly series that we've been doing for a minute now. We're excited to be here. Welcome, welcome, everybody. We've added a subtopic to this Time to Tell the Truth series because sometimes people just can't handle the truth. So I hope that you can. I hope you can handle the truth because we're about to share some truths that hopefully will be conducive to our well-being and take us to the next level. So let's get started. My name is Dr. Rosalind Shaw Belt. For those that don't know who I am, everybody calls me Dr. Roz. I am the CEO of Dream to Life LLC and Incorporated. I'm a wife of my husband, Dr. Adrian Belt. Done a bunch of other stuff, but what's important is what I'm doing right now. Sharing powerful information, being a certified wellness coach. Yeah, my doctorate's in theology and divinity, but I'm also an independent energy advisor, and I love to help people as it relates to their well-being physically and their well-being in their homes and their surroundings. But we're talking about the power of God's food, one word foods, we call them, because they discover transformative health benefits of eating foods that you can name with just one word. Just one word. Sometimes it might be two words, right? But it doesn't worry about a whole lot of different ingredients on the box. But let's let Coach Rochelle T. Parks help us out with this.
So how do you heal the body, Coach Ro? How do you heal it? By healing the cell. That's how you heal the body. And then how do you heal the cell then, Coach Ro? By eating the food that God made. And I know most of y'all thinking y'all eating God's food. And I'm here to tell you, you're eating lab experiments. That's what you're eating. You're eating lab experiments because eating God's food doesn't promote sickness. See, I'm eating healthy, Coach Ro. Healthy eating doesn't promote sickness. So you can be eating healthy, okay? And okay, you say, well, no, I do. And then watch this. Y'all write this down. Write this down. 1 Corinthians 10:23. 1 Corinthians 10:23, it says, all things are lawful, but not all things are profitable. So even if you think you're eating healthy, I'm going to tell you, you're not eating healthy enough for you if you're still sick, okay? You're not eating healthy enough for you. So either way, you're not doing enough. You're not doing what's required. So all this week, we're going to learn to do what's required. I'm not interested in you doing your best. Sometimes your best ain't good enough. You must do what's required to get this change. If you want to change, do what's required. Because this is what I know to be true. People do what they want to do. How bad do you want it? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Then do something about it. Do something about it, okay? 3 principles of optimal health, guys. Eat the food that God made. That's it. That's the foundation. By eating it as close to its original form, guys. I'm telling you, we are going in on day 2. I'm going to make it make sense. It's going to be plain. They say, write the vision and make it plain, baby. I'm making it make sense that you can bring your elementary child in here and they can understand this. We're not going to have no excuse.
That's right. No excuse. We're going to learn this information because it's going to be profitable. So let's talk about one word foods. Okay. Whole, unprocessed, foods that come from nature exactly as they are. Like what? Apple, spinach, salmon, almonds, rice. No need no ingredients, right? Because they are the ingredient. See, when you eat one word foods, you're consuming nutrition in its original form. It's natural, bioavailable form, the way, guess what? Even our ancestor did it years and years ago. Years and years ago. No additives, no preservatives, no mystery ingredients, right? So that's what we've got to make sure that we are doing more of that. Now, I'm not saying that you have to become a vegetarian. I'm not saying you have to become a vegan. I'm not saying you have to become plant-based totally. But I'm challenging every person under the sound of my voice to do more of it. Put more of it on your plate, right?
Listen, I know. I grew up on white rice too. I grew up on it too. I love white rice, okay? Come on. Pork chops, rice with a little gravy. Okay, but we can't eat like that anymore. And furthermore, we shouldn't be eating white rice anymore. You say, why not? That's what we about to talk about. Just click the video and let's find out why.
Hey, what's going on, good people? What is going on? I am Rochelle T. Parks. I am your health motivator. Hey guys, you see where we are? We're in the U52 Now studios. You say, Rochelle, why you in there? And you're not working out? Because this is a place where I want to talk to you, okay? This is home, okay? So we're in the U52 Now studios, and guess what? You say, we about to get this work? Yeah, but we're going to get this work on this nutrition though, okay? All right, so listen, welcome to another episode of Don't Fall for the Okie Doke, okay? Don't fall for the okie doke, guys. Do not do it. Right? So this topic is a little controversial, okay? So some people like, Rochelle, it doesn't I'm gonna tell you what it says, okay? I'm gonna give you the real scoop on what we're talking about. Brown rice versus white rice, okay? Brown rice, come on, Mahatma, come on. Zoom in on that. Brown rice, you see, versus white rice. Oh, come on. This is what I grew up on right here. I don't know if it was Mahatma. Uncle Ben's. Come on, Uncle Ben's. Okay, brown rice versus white rice, guys. You say, Rochelle, what's the big deal? It is a big deal. Okay? That's what sugar ain't sweet. Okay? It is a big deal. Right now, and I'm going to explain to you the difference between the brown rice and the white rice, nutritionally speaking. Okay, we're not gonna we ain't gonna go too deep. I'm just gonna let you know what's going on with the brown rice, what's going on with the white rice. Okay, so first of all, I want you to know that all white rice starts out as brown rice. Okay, all white rice starts out as brown rice. Okay, but what happens is it goes through a milling process, right? That removes some things from it. Right? The husk, the bran, and the germ, right? And so when you say, why do they do that? To increase shelf life. Everything is about this money. Okay, everything is about, we wanted to, same thing with chickens and things like that. They pump it up with growth hormones so it can grow faster, so they can put it on the shelf, sooner so that you can buy it. Same thing. They take bread, they remove, they remove these things, okay? Listen, guys, everything is about how can we have it last longer so we can get more money, okay? So the milling process removes the husk, the bran, and the germ, right? Why? To increase shelf life, right? But you lose the nutrients. That's where the nutrients are, huh? That's where the nutrients are, guys. So again, all white rice starts out as brown rice, right? But they go through a milling process to remove some things to increase shelf life, but you lose the nutrients, right? And so they're getting paid, right? Because it's on the shelf longer, which means they don't have to make us more, but we don't get paid. We lose because we lose the nutrients, right? The natural nutrients that are in the wheat germ itself, okay? The rice itself, the kernel itself, we lose the nutrients, okay? So what do? They say, okay, we're going to counteract that by infusing, artificially fortifying, right, the white rice with nutrients. That's what they do. And then they polish it to make it more palatable. Why? So you and I can eat it, right? So they say, okay, now we took out the real stuff. We're going to put in the fake stuff. Okay, artificially infused, artificially fortified nutrients, and then we're gonna make it look all polished and stuff, and then it's gonna look palatable. Okay, white rice. That's what they do. That's what they do, guys. I promise you, that's what they do. So, all right. So it says all rice. It's just carbohydrates. That's all rice is. Carbohydrates with very little protein and little to no fat. Okay, like this is carbs. So when you say rice, you don't think protein or fat. You say rice, you think carbs all day long. Anybody, universally speaking, you say rice, you think carbs. That's what rice is. But brown rice is a whole grain. Okay, it says. Let me read you what it says. It says brown rice is a whole grain, which means it contains all parts of the grain, guys. All parts. I'm talking the fibrous bran, right? The nutritious germ, okay, and the carb-rich endosperm, okay. See, the brown rice It's a whole grain. All parts are intact here. All parts are intact. It didn't lose anything, right? So, but because of that, the fibers brand, it's a little chewy. Okay, it may take you longer to cook. It may take you longer to cook the brown rice. So you're not making no brown rice in 5 minutes. You're not gonna do it. But you can go get some of that parboiled white rice, and you can make that probably in less than 2 minutes. Okay, maybe not with the brown rice. That's not gonna happen with the brown rice. Okay, so all parts are intact. The white rice, however, is a little softer, right? It's a little softer, and it has the bran and the germ removed. So you've lost the nutrients. All right, but you're gonna cook it faster though. So if you're in the rush, you're trying to eat, you go, I don't have time to make the brown rice. I can make this white rice though in like 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. But at what cost though? That's what you have to ask yourself. Like, what is it? Like, are you winning? Are you really? I don't think you're winning. You're falling for the okie doke is what you're doing. Okay, so like I'm giving you some options here. Like, so it's gonna take you a little longer. You got to prepare, but you're getting all your nutrients. You can do this lickety split. Okay. But you're eating air pudding, okay? That's that you're eating air pudding over here, right? So you got to be able to make some decisions here, guys. So look, you can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. Come on, guys, you got to make some decisions, right? So listen, this is what it says. Not only is it going to take you longer to cook, but like I said, you're getting the nutrients. It says brown rice has more fiber and antioxidants than white rice, as well as more vitamins and minerals. Come on, ding, 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 ding. Come on, brown rice sounded pretty good. It says brown rice is high in magnesium and fiber, both of which, watch this, help you to control your blood sugar. Come on now, let me read that again. Brown rice is higher in magnesium and fiber, both of which help you to control your blood sugar levels, guys. Brown rice, ding, 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 ding. Sounds good. So it says replacing white rice with brown rice has shown to lower blood sugar levels and decrease your risk for type 2 diabetes. Come on, y'all. Come on. This is looking like an easy decision. Okay, sugar ain't sweet, right? It says on the other hand, watch this. On the other hand, white rice, people that eat lots of white rice have been linked to an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Come on. So if you're out there eating white rice, this is what I need for you to know. Like when you're driving down the street and you see, I don't know, MLK Boulevard. No, not MLK. Just say, New York, 200 miles this way. Okay, you're driving. Okay, if you eating white rice, diabetes, 200 miles this way. You on that road. That's the road you're on, guys. If you're consuming lots of white rice, that's what it's saying. Let me read it to you again. It says, on the other hand, eating lots of white rice has been linked to an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, right? Diabetes, 200 miles that way. Come on, guys. You need to turn that thing around. Turn that thing around. And you say, well, why, Rochelle? Why? Well, first of all, they're both carbs. We said that. Rice is carbs. Right? But this has all the nutrients. This does not. But here's the real deal, right? This one has a lower glycemic index, the brown rice, right? So you may have seen that. Like people say high glycemic index, low. Oh, so that basically means how quickly food increases your blood sugar. How quickly it spikes your blood sugar. Lower glycemic index at 50. But watch this. The white rice, glycemic index of 89. Do you understand? 89. So you eat this white rice, pew, blood sugar goes through the roof. You understand? So imagine eating rice all the time. So think of some cultures right now that eat lots of white rice, right? Well, that culture may be stricken, okay, with lots of type 2 diabetes, right? I promise you. Think of a culture that consumes lots of white rice, and I'll show you a culture that has type 2 diabetes just running rampant. Do you understand what I'm saying? Glycemic index 50, right? Glycemic index 89. Guys, this is an easy decision, okay? Brown rice, all parts intact, lots of nutrients, okay? White rice, They didn't chopped up your parts, remove your parts, little to no nutrients at all. Do you understand? Come on, guys. Easy, easy. Don't fall for the okie doke. Which one? What say you on this day? What say you going forward? Is it brown rice or is it white rice? You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. Come on. It's easy. Standing in this corner. Come on. Brown rice all day, guys. If you had to choose, they're both carbs, but if you have to choose one, brown rice all day.
Well, I told you, are you ready for the truth? Right? White rice versus brown rice. And we're going to look at some times when you want to choose one or the other. So let's take a deeper dive than even what she talked about. And let's look at the nutritional differences. Let's break it down, the health benefits, the trade-offs, the practical trade-offs, because sometimes it's about practicality in some situations, between two of the world's most consumed staples. And she said, what communities? Well, we know what we do in our community, right? Plus, I'm going to tap into some alternatives. Quinoa. You know, some people look at that word and they mispronounce it. Quinoa, or, jasmine rice, and some others. So whatever your situation is, you're optimizing your diet, or simply maybe you're just curious about what's in the bowl. Let's go. Okay. So what's the basic difference? She talked about it. White rice. Well, let's do brown rice first because it retains the layer, the bran layer, the germ, like she talked about, making it really called a whole grain. And grains are good for us. But only the outermost hull is removed during the processing. And so this minimal processing, that's what preserves the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals. But it also results in a little chewier texture. And also takes it longer. I never shall forget, because I didn't know. Maybe you already knew. I didn't know it had to cook longer. I took some brown rice and I cooked it just like the white rice. And y'all know what that was about, right? It was hard. I'm just saying, didn't nobody tell me. That's why I'm about telling folk what I learned. But the white rice, it's milled, it's polished. They've already removed the outer bran layer and the germ. And what remains is primarily starch, the starchy endosperm. And this process extends the shelf life, creates a softer texture, but also strips completely away many naturally occurring nutrients. And that's why their people, their families, their generations, their cultures, our culture, that's all we do. I mean, you know somebody, maybe you yourself, rice, white rice with every single meal. That's what we do at our house. Come on now. There are people that say that. So we got to compare this. And when you compare the calories, it's not much difference. It's just a small. The protein, but the fiber, there's difference. The magnesium is totally different. And the phosphorus is totally different. Brown rice outperforms white rice in fiber, magnesium, and phosphorus. The calorie counts nearly identical. So the real difference, because folks, well, all I eat is rice. There's not many calories. I don't know what's going on. Why am I diabetic? Why am I dealing with high blood pressure? Why am I dealing with all these different diseases? Well, let's look at your diet. Micronutrient density, not energy content. So, what's the whole grain advantage? Brown rice, rich in dietary fiber, 4 grams of fiber per cup. Brown rice supports a healthy digestion, reduces cholesterol. Okay, when's the last time you checked? Your cholesterol's up? Are you doing rice every day? Is rice a staple in your diet? White rice. This brown rice reduces cholesterol, helps you feel fuller for longer, makes it a strong ally for weight management and gut health. Magnesium, B vitamins. Maybe you're on B vitamins, magnesium, but guess what? You can get a lot of it in your brown rice because of that bran that's on it, right? Because it's not been stripped. Nutrients critical for your energy metabolism, nerve function, and your brain health. heart health support. Everything we've been talking about has been helping these one-word foods help your heart health and your glycemic index. Studies link regular whole grain consumption to reduce risk of heart disease. The fiber and the antioxidants in brown rice help lower that LDL cholesterol and blood pressure over time. And then the lower glycemic index, brown rice has that GI of approximately 50 to 55 compared to white rice, 64 to 72. I think she even said 89. See, so you see these statistics in so many different places, but the bottom line is it's much higher for the white rice. And that's why diabetes is running in our culture like water out of a faucet, because most of our households with red beans and rice, is this and rice and this and rice. I mean, plus you can get the big old bags and you can cook it and it spreads and it takes the family, it goes further, right? It's cheap or cheaper. But yet the rise in our culture of diabetics, blood sugar, pre-diabetes, type 1, type 2, all of that. So brown rice is beneficial for those managing diabetes or insulin sensitivity. Now, the white rice, it's got a bad reputation, but I want to look at the whole scope. It has meaningful advantage in the right context. Rapid energy source, because it's easily to digest. Simple carbs in white rice make it ideal fuel for athletes and anyone needing some quick energy replenishment before or after your workout. So I'm going to show you a reason to have your white rice, but it should not be your regular staple. It's gentle on the gut. Because why? It's low in fiber and residue, making it a go-to recommendation for those with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, Crohn's disease, or recovering from gastrointestinal illness. Often it's enriched. Now, you got to look at that package. Many commercial white rice varieties are enriched with iron and B vitamins, but as Rochelle T. Park said, instead of you getting it naturally, they've put it in there. So now we're back to being a lab experiment, even though they've had to put it in there for us, right? Quick and convenient. Yep. Now that's the one reason why we do the white rice. They got that 1 minute. Anybody ever bought 1 minute rice? Yeah. 1 minute. I got home late. I'm trying to cook dinner for the family, and I need to not take a long time. Bam. We pull out that white rice. Sometimes we pull out that microwavable rice. All of that. In about less than 15 to 18 minutes compared to 40 to 45 minutes. 40 to 45 minutes for the brown rice. And I know busy households, it's all about convenience. And we dismiss the nutrients that we're not getting. So when we talk about blood sugar and the glycemic impact, we've got to understand that this glycemic index, it measures how quickly a food raises your blood glucose. So I'm now talking to you, those of you that have been diagnosed with diabetes, or you're wrestling with diabetes, you're living with diabetes, you call yourself a diabetic. Can I tell you something? I want you to stop calling yourself something that you're not. Your name is not diabetic. Your name is not even diabetes. You may be dealing with it. You may be wrestling with it. You may be have been labeled as that. You may have that particular disease, but it's not you. So first and foremost, stop saying I am a diabetic. Okay, can you do that for me? Let's change what we say about ourselves. But just understand that foods with a glycemic index above 70 are considered high. Below 55 is low. So here's the white rice. It ranks high, while the brown rice falls in the medium-low category. So for people with type 2 diabetes or metabolic syndrome, choosing brown rice over white rice can meaningfully improve your glucose control. Okay, you're always sticking yourself. You got to wear the patch. You're doing all this stuff. What's on your plate? I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. I asked you, were you ready for the truth? Pairing the white rice with protein, fat, or vegetables lowers its effective glycemic impact in a meal. So even here's a tip. Cooling cooked rice before eating it increases the resistant starch. And that lowers its GI, even for the white rice. Did you know that? Even if you just cool it down, let it get cool. That'll help just a little bit. But that glycemic index is 72 for the white rice and 50 for the brown rice. We can help ourselves. If you're wrestling with diabetes and you're on insulin, oh my God, I want to hear you say, I want to get off of it. I don't want you to tell me I've got to live with it for the rest of my life. No, I know. I don't care what your doctor tells you. I'm just saying, take control of your own health. Beyond the basics, popular rice alternatives. Let's look at some alternatives. White and brown rice, they are not the only options. Hello, somebody. There are other grains, other rice varieties. All you got, will you just at least try? Just try. You may not like them. I don't like everything. I don't like every other variety, but at least I'm willing to try it and see if I can figure out a way to make it taste good. Other varieties offer unique nutritional profiles, flavors, culinary uses, from protein-packed quinoa to aromatic jasmine rice. And you got to understand their alternatives help you make smarter, tastier choices. So maybe you're not the brown rice kind of person, don't like brown rice, ain't no gonna ever like brown rice, don't have time to cook brown rice as long as it takes. Okay, I get it. Let's look at some alternatives. What about quinoa? First, you got to learn how to pronounce it, right? I did. Because when you look at that Quinoa, ain't nothing tell you that that's pronounced quinoa. But technically, it's a seed. It's often treated as a grain and is one of the few plant foods that is complete protein. OMG. Quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids. 1 cooked cup provides about 8 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber. It's naturally gluten-free. It's high in iron, zinc, folate, GI of 53. That's lower than the white rice. Rich in antioxidants, including quercetin, and it cooks in just, here we go, 15 minutes. Not that 40 to 5. Okay, I know you don't have time. You just got off work, you get home, family's hungry, and you put that white rice on because it's 1 minute rice. Uncle Ben put it out there. Killing us. Quinoa is an excellent choice of vegetarians, vegans, and anyone looking to increase protein intake without meat. How about jasmine rice? Jasmine rice, very similar to white rice. Long grain, prized for its floral aroma, its slightly sticky texture when cooked, and it's a staple in the Thai and Southeast Asian cuisines and pairs beautifully with the curries and the stir fries and the grilled proteins. Now, nutritionally, it's similar to standard white rice. It is refined, has a high GI around 68 to 80, provides primarily fast digesting carbs. However, whole grain jasmine rice is available and offers fiber and micronutrients comparable to brown rice. Whole grain jasmine rice. That's like brown jasmine. Another alternative, guys. If you haven't tried it, try it. Okay, basmati. Basmati rice, it's another long grain rice from South Asia. And don't worry, you ain't got to go to Asia to get it. It's in the grocery store. It's in your local grocery store. White basmati has a GI, look at this, 50 to 58, lower than the standard white rice because it's higher amylose content. Brown basmati is even more nutrient dense. Wild rice. Sometimes you see that sometimes people will fix wild rice for Thanksgiving. It's not technically rice. but it's an aquatic grass seed. It's exceptionally high in protein, 6.5 grams per cup, and antioxidant. Has a chewy texture, earthy flavor, and a low GI of 45. Oh my God, we're getting there now, making it one of the most nutritious rice options available. And then we have this one that I wasn't familiar with, black rice, forbidden. It earns its label because it was once reserved for Chinese royalty. Have you noticed that always the rich folk tend to get the best of stuff? Come on now, we got to understand this is for you, no matter who you are. It's loaded with anthocyanins, the same antioxidants you find in blueberries, offering powerful anti-inflammatory properties. It has more protein than brown rice and a striking deep purple color when it's cooked. I'm going to research this and find out where I can find this, how you can buy this black forbidden. It don't have to be forbidden from me anymore. So head to head, let's look at the comparisons, because all I want you to get out of this is that you don't have to choose what's hurting you just to get the taste that you want, just to be a rice lover. But we got to pay attention to what it's doing to us, where it's taking us in our livelihood, in our families, in our generations, in our lineage. White rice has the most, it's not about the calories between the white rice and the brown rice, because as a matter of fact, you see this, you're getting more calories between the quinoa than you are the others. It's about the protein, the fiber, the GI more than anything else. What's causing people to have diabetes? They think, oh, I don't do any sugar. I don't have any white sugar in my house. Listen, guys, sugar's everywhere. That's why Coach Rowe says sugar is not your friend. Sugar is not sweet. So the white rice, 72. The jasmine rice is right at 74. The brown rice is 50. Let's go right down there where everything else is 50. Quinoa, 53. Basmati, 54. Wild, 45. And black rice, 42. You might want to take a screenshot of this right now, because I'm going to tell you, the column, you can pay attention. You can deal with your calories on some other stuff that you're eating. But this is shooting people up and making them live a life of diabetes. And that's where we don't need to be. So which rice is for you? Which rice is right for you? We're not saying that there's no single best rice. It depends on your health goals. And I hope you're here because you want health goals. You want to do the right thing for your body. So now, if you're in a pinch and you need some quick energy, athletes, active adults, then white or jasmine before or after your workout for rapid glycogen replenishment. Add some protein to your meal for recovery. You got it in a bowl with some vegetables sauteed and all of this. Okay. But if you're trying to manage your blood sugar and you're saying, this is what we do in our family, we eat rice for every meal, then I'm challenging you to change the kind of rice that you're eating with every meal. I'm going to say it again. Try it. Don't tell me you don't like it if you never tried it. Stop. Stop saying what you don't like when you've never put it in your mouth. Try it. And I'm going to even say, don't not try it just because it looks a certain kind of way. You go ahead and try it. It may be the very best thing for you. Choose brown rice, basmati, wild rice, or black rice if you're managing your blood sugar. Pair any rice with fiber and protein to blunt the glucose spikes. And then those of you that have decided to move into that plant-based arena, you already know quinoa, wild rice, providing you complete or near complete proteins, making them ideal for the vegetarians and the vegans. And then if you're having a sensitive digestive system, like many times we have, then white rice is the safest bet for irritable bowel syndrome or gut recovery because of its low residue and easy digestible, minimized GI irritation. But at the same time, don't do a lot of it. Okay? We understand. So how can we use it? What are ways to cook it? Mix it with your grains. How about that? Blend it. Come on, if you've never had it, let's try this. Blend white and brown, 50-50. Then you got the middle ground texture. That's a good way to start. This eases the transition for picky eaters while boosting fiber intake. Now you can't cook it together because guess what? That brown rice takes longer to cook. But you can already have pre-cooked it. And then when you do the brown rice, now you can add some of the, when you do the white rice, you can add some of the brown rice to it because you've already got it ready. Another choice is to cool and to reheat for less sugar impact. Refrigerate the cooked rice overnight. Reheat it. Increases resistant starch contact. So this acts like fiber and reduces, wow, the glycemic response significantly. How about season smartly? Cook the grains in vegetable or bone broth. Add some aromatics like garlic and herbs. I love this. Or finish it with drizzle of olive oil to enhance flavor without adding sugar. Who do you know that has to have sugar on their rice? Try something else other than sugar. Try some broth. Try cooking it in broth. Try adding some other things to give that rice a flavor so that you don't need sugar or tons and tons of butter. Build a balance bowl. Pair the grain with a lean protein, a healthy fat, and plenty of vegetables. That's the kind of stir fry, right? The overall meal composition matters more than just the rice variety alone. So our key takeaways today, I hope that you'll take this away. Brown rice wins on nutrition density. More fiber, magnesium, B vitamins, and lower glycemic index makes brown rice the stronger everyday choice. White rice has its rightful place. I'm going to give it its rightful place. Coach Rowe probably wouldn't have done that, but athletes, those with digestive sensitivities, or simply for convenience, white rice is a perfectly valid, widely consumed staple, especially when paired thoughtfully. That's the key. Alternatives. Expand your nutritional toolkit, somebody. Quinoa, wild rice, black rice. Those are other benefits because they give you complete protein, powerful antioxidants, very low glycemic scores, worth rotating into your weekly meals. And then context is everything. No single grain is perfect for everybody. Let's just be real. Your health goals, your activity level, your taste preferences should guide your choice, and variety is always, always a winning strategy. The bottom line is, come on, let's swap. Swap those varieties based on your needs. Build some balanced meals around your grains. And don't stress. Never stress over perfection. It's not what you do some of the time. It's what you do most of the time. And the reason in our culture we have so many that are living with diabetes, dying with diabetes, is because white rice is every day, every meal. I know people, rice every meal, every meal. But the best rice is the one you actually eat consistently as part of the whole foods diet. Okay, guys? That's it. Let's make the necessary changes. Let's move forward, and let's see the results of what's getting ready to take place in our lives.